The fear of being seen is something that a lot of us struggle with, and it holds us back from living our lives fully. Now, whether that's, sharing your art or speaking up or showing up in your most authentic form, it really does limit us living our best lives. And it's something that I've personally been struggling with for a long, long time. And today I want to discuss it and break it down so you have some simple, actionable steps to help you overcome your fear of being seen. So the first thing is to think about why we have a fear of being seen. And a lot of the time it's to do with judgment. We don't want to be judged for who we are in our true form. There's this word that's being thrown around all the time now, which is cringy. Like, you don't want to be seen as being cringy. You don't want people to criticize you, to laugh at you, to reject you. So yeah, a lot of us are afraid of what others might think. And so we stop ourselves from putting ourselves out there and just stay where it's comfortable. Another thing is fear of failure. And that's something I want to go into a bit deeper in another video. But essentially, we don't want to be seen to fail. We sometimes don't even want to be seen to try and fail, which is just crazy because that's the only way you learn. That's the only way you get somewhere. But because especially in this day and age of social media and the digital age, everything is sort of very much out there, and it can be very daunting for people to put themselves out there and try something and for it to potentially fail. And sometimes, if we do fail, it seems like those doubts we have been proven right, which sort of reinforces that we shouldn't put ourselves out there. But it's a lie. And another reason why we might have a fear of being seen is because of imposter syndrome. A lot of us have that little voice in our head telling us that we're not good enough, we're not talented enough, we're not ready. And, these things are limitations that we place on ourselves that stop us from doing things because we feel like other people are somehow more qualified or that we are not enough. And like I said, this is a complete lie. The thing about fear of anything is that your brain naturally keeps you in your comfort zone. Your brain doesn't like to expose you to anything that might pose danger. So these voices that we have a lot of the time are parts of our brain that are telling us to avoid doing something which might potentially lead to a negative result. But it's about recognizing that it is a voice in our brain and it's only just trying to protect us. But the good things in life come on the other side of fear. So we have to put ourselves out there. We have to try and overcome those voices that are in our heads and do it anyway. A lot of people don't like being perceived, and that's something I personally struggle with, especially as an artist, because sometimes you have something in mind or you have a vision for something, but it might not be translated that way to the outside world, or that might not be how people receive it or interpret it. And for a long time, being perceived was something that I really, really struggled with. And it's something I still do struggle with. I think it's only natural. And of course, I'm not the only one. I actually remember seeing a video where SZA was explaining that she hates being perceived. I'll put the video if I can find it.
I hate being perceived. I hate coming outside. I don't want to party. I don't want anybody to even look at me. Honestly, I don't want to take pictures. I hate being on video. It's the bane of my existence. It makes me really, really uncomfortable to a way that like I cry. And, I took a lot of calm gummies before I sat down here, but being perceived, especially visually, is like my number one, I'm uncomfortable right now.
But yeah, I've been working on letting go of perceptions of others because those are inevitable. If you're going to do anything or put yourself out there, it's only natural that people are going to perceive you differently. And that might not be the way you want to be perceived, but it's just something you have to make peace with. And I think something that's really helped me has been to think about why I'm doing it. Rather than focus on how it's being perceived, think about why I'm doing the thing. Is it to express myself? Is it to grow? For me, a lot of it is with my art to connect with people. So I realized that although sometimes it is difficult putting certain things out on the internet or putting myself out there, I have to think that for me, the most important thing is being able to connect with the right people with my art. And the only way the right people are going to find me is if I do put myself out there. No one's going to know who you are if you don't put yourself out there. So it's something you just have to make peace with, but think about why you're doing what you're doing rather than how other people are going to view what you're doing. Another thing that's really helped me is to remember that it's about progress and not perfection. Every successful person that you admire started somewhere, and remember that showing up is a win in itself. So just remember that the more you do it, the better you'll be and the more comfortable you will be doing it. For example, with this podcast channel, like I said, I put it off for a long time and I was very comfortable with my music channel. You know, I could do music related videos, or obviously it has all my music on there, and I didn't necessarily have to speak to anyone. But I just wanted to put myself out of my comfort zone and grow a more personable connection with people out there. And it's not easy. Like I said, it's not my comfort zone, but the more I'm doing it, the more comfortable I'm becoming. And it's something I'm proud of, that I'm able to now actually speak and open up a bit more and hopefully connect with people. Just off the back of that, you know, something that could also help is every time you do maybe set yourself a challenge to post something or to do something that is a bit more out of your comfort zone and requires you putting yourself out there, you can give yourself a reward, whether it's maybe taking yourself out or allowing yourself some kind of leisure in some sense, or whatever that might be for you, and just celebrate those wins, because no matter how small the steps you're taking are, they still need to be recognized, you know. And when you acknowledge that within yourself, it makes you feel good and makes you proud of yourself. So yeah, I definitely recommend celebrating those small victories as well. An actionable step you could take is perhaps sharing something which you're maybe a bit more vulnerable about with a close friend or someone you trust, and just start with a closer circle before maybe then progressing to a larger circle and then the outside world. But if it's a piece of work, or if it's your art, or start with maybe sharing it with someone you trust and then progressing to other people. Another tip which has actually really helped me is exposure therapy, and that's essentially putting yourself in the discomfort. So if you're the kind of person that's very reserved, introverted, or maybe you're a homebody and you don't put yourself out there much or go places, make the conscious decision to do that and feel the fear, but do it anyway. That's the only way you're going to grow. If you're wanting to meet new people, you know, maybe go to a networking event where there's lots of people, or a social event, and just do it. Like I said, it is going to be daunting, but you're going to be very proud of yourself that you were able to do it. And the more you do that, the more comfortable you will eventually get in, you know, doing whatever that thing is for you. And another thing is to surround yourself with the right people. You know, you want a good support system. Is really important. People who can cheer you on and sort of just reinforce that you are able to do what you want to do and push you out of your comfort zone sometimes. You definitely don't want to be in an environment of people who make you doubt your self-worth or make you feel less than. So it's really important who you surround yourself with. But yeah, this is something I've struggled with for a long time, and I'm getting better at it, but I've still got a way to go. But I just feel like there's so many opportunities that I've probably missed out on because I was scared of putting myself out there. So this is your sign. If you've been hiding behind the scenes, you know, you have a fear of being seen, remember that your art matters, you matter, your vision matters, and the world is waiting for what you have to offer. Remember to start small, take it step by step, and trust that you are capable of more than you think. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon. Bye.